We all know that parents are supposed to help you and care for you. They are known to be some of the best people around you. But what if I told you some parents are so cruel, they get compared to literal villains? Today we are going to be taking a look at world's creepiest parents. So make sure to like and subscribe if you love playing Roblox. This first creepy parent was a mom that sat on her son so badly, he passed.
The woman who sat on her son and crushed him to death, Jennifer Wilson. One day, the son ran away to a neighbor's house and Jennifer Wilson reported it to the police. After reporting the police, the son was then returned home. After the mother and son were alone, the son was acting up and throwing himself on the ground in front of the house because the son was complaining the 340-pound woman.
Wow! This would have meant the mom is way bigger than the son. That would have made the experience way more creepy for me, to be honest.
Then sat on top of her 90-pound son and was crushing him to death. The woman apparently thought the son wasn't really dying and she thought he was faking it the whole time, until she got up and noticed that his eyelids were pale. The woman was sitting on her son for at least 5 minutes straight. The son was not breathing and he didn't have a pulse, and was taken to the hospital, but was taken off of life support 2 days later. Before his death, the son said that the mother was abusive and would slap his face, and the mother wasn't his biological mother, it was his foster mother.
This is really sad because this means that his foster mom is abusing him. This would really upset me if I was the biological mom knowing my child isn't safe.
The whole thing was caught on camera, and all you can hear is the boy screaming in pain. Jennifer Wilson was soon arrested and is only facing up to 6 years in prison.
Only 6 years is kind of crazy considering she oofed this poor boy. In my opinion, for something like this, she needs 50 years or life sentence. And if the mom did this, I wonder what other things she did when no one was looking. But I don't think it compares to this next creepy story. These next parents are considered some of the worst parents in the world. I don't know about you guys, but I would hate to have a title like that.
The parents that we're mentioning in this slideshow are probably one of the worst parents you'll ever have heard of. This slideshow starts off with an image showing the parents, David and Louise Turpin. David and Louise's entire family consisting of 13 children.
13 children is absolutely diabolical. That's not even a family anymore, that's a whole class. But in all seriousness, how do you get the money to take care of all those kids? These people must be loaded.
And photos of the home that they and their children lived in. David and Louise got married in 1985 when David was 23 years old and Louise was only 16.
Is that even legal?
And because of their religion, they believed that they needed to bring as many children into the world as possible, so they got to work and had 13 kids. However, despite the fact the family looked happy from the outside, this could not be further from the truth. For years, David and Louise would falsely imprison the children in their rooms, performing a variety of different horrendous acts, only ever allowed them to eat once a day and bathe once a year.
How is that even possible? I just know their house was smelly. Surely the police would have heard about this.
Eventually, on January 14th, 2018, a 17-year-old daughter of theirs ended up escaping, calling the police, and they were caught. They received 25 years to life. This case really goes to show that even though things might look okay from the outside, sometimes they're not.
To be honest, what else were the parents of these kids expecting? Like if I was the kid, the second I turned 18 I would be running as fast as a cheetah to the police. Because you're literally not giving your kids their basic rights. To be honest, I think they deserved a lifetime in jail for what they did, but at least nobody dies. If you thought the last story was bad, it gets even worse, because this next parents literally drove over their poor daughter. And the daughter didn't even do anything. The dad was being irresponsible and doing naughty things in his car.
After getting in a wreck, a dad would leave his daughter in the road fighting for her life while he made a quick getaway. On January 11th, Elliot Benny was driving in Bixby along with his wife and their 3 kids, one of which is 16-year-old Shelby Benny. According to Shelby's mom, they were in a heated argument and he was going around 70 in a no-pass zone. They get into a wreck and it's a rollover, and this sends Shelby out of the car. Witnesses rush over after the crash and they saw Elliot standing there disoriented, and they asked if everyone was okay, and he just fled the scene, leaving his daughter fighting for her life in the road.
This is such a horrible thing for you to do, especially to your own kid. If it was my kid lying in the middle of the road, I would be screaming in fear. especially if it was a car crash that just happened.
He'd flee to his local family-owned business, get a car, and then 12 hours later he'd be found and arrested in a nearby town. Elliot had a history of leaving accident sites. He had done this 3 times but never served any prison time. In the car, police found an open bottle of vodka, and Elliot did admit that he had been drinking and took a big gulp of vodka prior to driving. Sadly, Shelby would pass from this, but her siblings and her mom would be okay.
At least some of the other kids are okay. But if I was their sibling, I would be so mad at the dad for being so irresponsible. Nobody wants to grow up hearing that their own dad take their sibling's life. And the fact he drove away just meant he wasn't sorry at all.
Shelby was a cheerleader, and in a post on Facebook made by her team, they said she was a hardworking athlete and that she will be missed and she was loved by everyone.
This is honestly such a heartbreaking story, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. This next story gets a bit creepier as her mom does some very strange things. Like staring into your soul across the room? Yeah, no thanks.
Imagine seeing your mom standing in the middle of the living room staring at you in silence. You ask her, why are you home so early? You weren't supposed to be home until next week. But she just keeps reassuring you that everything is fine. That's when you get a FaceTime call from your mom, asking you what's wrong and why do you look so scared. But if that's your mom calling you, then who's this woman standing in front of you right now, still staring at you with that eerie smile on her face? This short film is called Mama Agnes. And even though the entire runtime is less than 3 minutes, I still found it to be incredibly suspenseful and interesting. So definitely check out Mama Agnes and follow for more.
Why is she smiling like that? It's making me scared. But based on what we've covered before, I'd say that woman is probably a shapeshifter or a skinwalker. Apparently there's something that happens next, but it's so scary they had to cut it out. And I'm unsure if this is based off a true story or not, but if it is, then yikes. The next story is about parents that are super scary. They are also known as the screaming parents. So let's find out what made them so scary.
This is the scary story about the screaming parents. There was a young boy named Chris who was in his room late one night when he suddenly heard his parents screaming. He then jumped out of bed and went over to his bedroom door, but suddenly stopped. Chris was too scared to open the door and didn't know what to expect. His parents were still screaming. Then suddenly the screaming stopped. Chris then opened his door and went to his parents' bedroom. When he got there, he froze in horror at what he saw. On the bed laid both of his parents dead, with their dog completely mutilating their throats. The dog then stopped and turned his head to look at Chris, its fur completely covered in blood, and had a fountain of blood dripping from its mouth.
And this is why we never let dogs inside the house. But I would honestly be scarred for life if I walked in on this, especially as a small child. Like, what do you even do in this situation? If you made it to the end, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment parents to confuse the others. They're even more creepy people that you should probably never come across. Some of these people may seem innocent and friendly, but in reality are really scary. So like and subscribe for 1 million Robux. This first creepy person is actually from a K-pop group and was well known, but he was hiding a secret, and when it got revealed, he was in so much trouble. The things that he did were illegal and disgusting.
The dark story behind
the tile incident.
You might not know who is this guy, right? His name is Tile, and he is a K-pop idol from the group called NCT Dream. You might be shocked what he did. Basically, Tile's a 12-year-old girl, which means Tile demanded that the 12-year-old girl reveals her private parts to him. He messaged only young girls and wanted to see his girl's private body part, and wanted it to take a picture and sent it to him. But some of young girls said that it's illegal and doesn't want to send it to him.
In a situation like this, the best thing to do is tell your parents what's going on, because they're probably the ones that can handle things like this.
And I think that Tile Rage and K1L3D them. The people were shocked of what Tile did. So people begins to destroy Tile's photocards and his pictures. And SM, the CEO of the company, kicked Tile out from NCT Group. He's in jail for this. So please girls, keep your safety with you. And by the way, we don't know who was the girl or what happened. There's no CCTV footage. but I think it will reveal it soon. So bye, my friends.
How do you even think to do that to some innocent young girls? Young people should be able to live their childhood and not worry about creeps around them. And the worst part is, since he was famous, the girls he talked to probably idolized him or looked up to him, so Taylor basically took advantage of them, which is pretty gross. But I don't think it compares to this next creepy person who oofed his girlfriend, all because she broke up with him.
In 1994, this man who was named Joe Matheny murdered 8 people and sold the victims' meats by putting them in hamburgers and selling them to people without nobody knowing. The real reason why Joe Matheny did this was because his girlfriend left him with his kid, and he became so infuriated that he went on a rampage of just killing people and turning them into hamburgers.
If I was ever oofed, I would not want to be made into a burger to be eaten. Like, just let me rest in peace. But making burgers out of people is low-key so random, especially if you just oofed them. Getting rid of the evidence, I guess.
After grinding their flesh and mixing it to form burger patties, the man would take it to a nearby food stand and sell the patties to unsuspected customers. And this would go on until about 2 years later. In 1996, Joe Matheny lured a woman into his trailer, and her life was threatened when she refused to obey Matheny. But the woman was able to fight back, unlike the other victims, and she left the trailer and escaped by climbing over a fence. After the woman escaped, she ran to the nearest gas station and called the police. The police soon arrived and arrested Matheny. During questioning, Matheny confessed to several murders and revealed what he did to his victims' bodies. In court, Joe Matheny was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole.
This is literally one of the only people I've seen get a life sentence for the terrible thing they did. In my opinion, they should be giving out more life sentences to people like this. This next story was about a girl who ate a cake for her birthday, and something to her after. The cake she ate for her birthday took her life, and the worst part was she was only 10.
Explaining Incidents, Part 9. The cake incident. This incident happened in March 2024. A family ordered the cake from the bakery called Kenha Bakery. Once the cake arrived, exactly at her birthday, after this she began to cut the cake at 7 p.m. and it was recorded. The girl's name is Manvi. She was 10 years old until a cake took her life. She and her family then began to consume the cake. Later then, she and her family become very sick.
What are they putting in this cake that people are dying and throwing up? Surely it can't be legal to sell it.
Manvi and also her sister vomited with dehydration and dryless tongue. She drank water before going to sleep, but it was her last day sleeping. Around m at night, her family rushed her to the hospital, but she later passed away. Rest in peace, Manvi and her sister. That's all, and stay safe.
I feel so bad for the family who had to watch their own child pass on their birthday. I don't know about you guys, but that would put me off birthdays for a while. This next story wasn't actually about a creepy person, but it was about a creepy animal. Even when I saw the animal she had, it gave me quite a jump scare. And apparently the animal she had ate her, and she was screaming for help.
Let's talk about
Hard-boiled toe V10.
She was a girl who posted this video.
I've been getting a lot of questions about my dog Cracker. He's half Cocker Spaniel and Australian Shepherd. I rescued him. He's from Japan. Do you want a treat? Yeah? You want a treat?
So as you can see, the dog is terrifying and weird in the video. She said that she rescued her dog from Japan. The name of the dog is Cracker.
That sounds like such an innocent name for a dog that looks like that. Imagine if his name was Sparkles or Cupcake. But that thing literally looks like it will rip your soul out. How can you have that in your room at night?
And it's half Cocker Spaniel or something, and half Australian Shepherd. But isn't this weird of how the dog looks like that? Later that same day, at night she posted about a video saying that her dog is going to kill her.
In some strange department store.
People tried to make her leave the house or call the police, but it was too late. That's all, and stay safe.
Call the police, make a TikTok. If I had a pet like that, I would be calling the police a long time ago. But some part of me feels like this video might be staged for views. But that's just me lol. The next story is about a poor girl who unfortunately passed while making a TikTok. She was just singing and dancing with her friend, but she didn't watch where she was going.
The girl who died while making a TikTok. "24-year-old Irina Glazanova's life took a devastating turn while making a video. Ariana and her friend were out in the streets recording their night together. They were uploading a few TikToks while laughing, singing, and having a good time. Everything was going well until their final TikTok was in the process of being made, which was Irina's final moments. Irina was making the final TikTok to a song called For the Last Time. And a few seconds into the video, Irina's friend gives the phone to her, and Irina wasn't looking at where she was going, then fell headfirst over the edge of a wall and into an underground passage. Irina ended up breaking her neck and sustained severe injuries. She was then rushed to the hospital immediately, but was then pronounced dead because the injuries were too severe. It's crazy how one's life can end or change in an instant, or how unexpected it can be.
I would feel so guilty if I was the friend, even though it's not my fault. I hope that young girl rests in peace. If you made it to the end, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment fishy to confuse the others.